Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Haley on the channel, where the channel name is Bobus. We are doing a speed build today, and it is within the new world of Copperdale. In the top left-hand corner, you can see it's on the lot called Little Falls Nook. If I'm not mistaken, it's in the bottom right-hand side of the world map. And we are just making a comfy, cozy little house. Right now we are just making the bottom floor layout. I did do something very unique with this house. It is 2 stories, but we did not use regular stairs. You'll see me mess with it in just a second once we get this second floor up. Another slightly different thing that I did was I actually put the fireplace chimney at the front of the house. I don't know how realistic it really is, but we did do it anyways because it's a Sims and it does not matter. It doesn't have to be fully realistic for this specific game, which is a positive. We are putting the front porch on right now and getting some roofing in. I kind of bounce back and forth on how I'm going to do the roofing. I did want to put like a little porch on the back since we weren't going to have like a downstairs back porch. We strictly have the front porch and then we have the upstairs like deck or porch, whatever you want to call it. And so it's going to have a slight farmhouse style roof to it from the front angle, but the sides and back look slightly different. Now this was the only issue that I was having, was where this roof meets the other roof. I didn't quite know how I wanted to execute that, and I fixed it by putting this other piece of roofing here. That way it kind of covered up any awkward lines that were coming up with it. I also did fill these up with platforms where the chimney was, so that way it would stay up when you're in live or live mode. I don't know what you guys call it. You can tell me down below. I call it the live mode, not live. And you know, I've never actually researched what the Sims team actually calls it, so you guys want to let me know how you say it. But we are going to start finally putting some details. This is just basically a cozy cabin in the woods. Not to be confused with the horror movie. So it's going to be a very dark color theme on the outside. Not so much log cabin-y kind of cabin. More like a, I don't know really how to explain it. I guess along the lines of like a gothic farmhouse. But here you see me trying to kind of mess with stairs and I couldn't get it just right. So I said, you know what? Let's have some fun with platforms. Now I have not play tested this. I apologize in advance. But if you guys want to play test it and let me know, or comment on the gallery ID. You can find it under HR Bobus. That's H as in happy, R as in Rose, and then the last name like the channel. You'll find that there. It is put onto the gallery. But these steps took me ages, if you can see how slow I'm going. And I had to decide where to pull and push from. And it kind of indented into the kitchen area just a little bit, but it all works out in the end. The downstairs has a very open concept floor plan with the kitchen, dining, and living room. Living room's very small. I really wanted the kitchen to be the main focal point, which is where you walk into. Sorry, my chair is squeaking if you hear that in the background. I tried to readjust. And then we actually do a dip down, like a step down, where the dining room's gonna be, which y'all guys will see in just a little bit. I didn't know if the Sims could step over that half wall where the platform was, so I actually just removed it, and did my best with matching things. Now, and there I am kind of making the best out of the situation and debating what I should do. We did do a lot of light colored floorboards, light colored walls, but the kitchen area is gonna turn into this really pretty, like, island living with this shader on that I have, and I can't remember the name of the shader. I am so sorry with the reshade names. I download new ones all the time, so I'm not sure. But if you look at it, it has like this oil slickish type of color. It's got these blues and pinks, but it's overall black. It's just got this shiny reflection. And so I used that particular swatch, trying to make sure I use the right words. And then we actually use, with the overabundant excitement of James Turner, Journey to Batu! Yay! As the hexagons for the floor in the bathrooms. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. It has what I imagine to be a teen, 2 children, and then your parents. I had a lot of fun using all of the high school years items in the high schoolers' room. So when we get to that, you will see just how in-depth I went with it. The teen is very much into gaming, old records, very much what a quote-unquote typical teen would be nowadays. So I was trying to find the perfect green color. I wanted like a sage green, and unfortunately in base game there's not any like really good sage green colors, and it really is unfortunate. We do need some color updates on some of these swatches and wall colors, but I'm trying to match the chairs to the walls, which is what you see me now, trying to find the correct pink color. And if that mosquito stuff wallpaper wasn't so bright, I probably would have used it, but unfortunately it wasn't pastel enough for me to use. And then I wanted to try to use some of those pinky bluish colors in the countertops. My brain went blank. I apologize for that. But in the countertops, I wanted to kind of pull out those pinky, bluey, and the green from the chairs onto that, but I did not go with that. We just went with the strict pink and gray, or black, whatever color you really want to classify that as. We used the new wicker trash bin in the kitchen, so there is a trash can. We have a small little pantry nook, which is behind those chairs next to the island. Now that I'm looking at it, and I actually have had this video sitting for a little while before I decided to do this voiceover, I'm kind of not liking how big the island is. So now I have that regret to live with, but it's fine because you guys can edit this house however you want. It took me forever in this little like entryway nook for me to find what I was looking for. I was looking for that built-in area that's made out of wood planks that has like the jacket and the, I think it's a scarf hanging on it. And I could not find it for the life of me. So I just sat here scrolling trying to find the item, and I couldn't remember the name of it or what pack it was from. I kept thinking it was from Cats and Dogs. And I actually think it's from Seasons instead. Because Cats and Dogs kind of have a couple of the same ones as well. Right here we are making a double layered coffee table. I do keep a double layered coffee table, but I think I changed the colors or I rotate the top one and bottom one. I'm not 100% sure. I might leave it like that. We have our little herbs that are hanging on the wall. We get our cutting boards. Who doesn't love those cutting boards? Those are the best thing for kitchen clutter ever. We add the free, what are they called? Oh no. Anyways, the random mini update packs that you just have to restart your game to get them instead of like them fully downloading the like update. Aprons. And then we're using some of our dine out items to stock the clutter in the kitchen. We have our spatulas and spaghetti spoons is what I like to call them. I do use the custom red shelf to kind of place, because the bracket, or not the bracket, the 9 and 0 keys to raise and lower things don't, I used to not have to press control. And now I have to press control, and it's just, it throws me off because I'll press the 9 or 0 key and it shoots me like halfway across the map. So I just stopped using them as often, and I'm just trying to use the red shelf to clutter things up. Oh right, I did remove some of the pantry and replaced it with some juice, adult juice, some jiggle juice as some of us would say. And there that cabinet is with the sweater and scarf. And that's exactly what I was looking for. And then we actually put ottomans on top of that to add like a cushion. If I'm not mistaken, these might be functional. I'm not 100% sure. It might be pushed too far back. But I did see a YouTube short where someone did something like this. I tweaked it just a little bit, so I haven't play tested it. So I'm kind of hoping that it'll actually work for you guys. And here we are putting our little, what are they called? We have our sparkling water tray. But what is the little stick thing that you burn? It's not, is it essence? No. My brain's just having a day. I'm not 100% right now. If you can't tell, I'm a little congested. So, and then I've done this like a month or so ago, so I'm just behind on things. But we do have fun with our color palette in here. Even though the bulk of it is black and white, we have some really fun colors going on with the greens and the pinks. I have fun playing with the Dream Home Decorator couch and all the high school years stuff. We do put one other, I think it's a love seat. I think we do a love seat on that half wall, and we actually take a notch out of the Dream Home Decorator couch. But here I am changing those greens to kind of match the couch just a little bit more. And it was so hard for me to find the right love seat or chair to go right here, because with so many different colors and patterns and things going on, I wanted to make sure that it was going to be neutral, but some of the things I just don't like the shape of, and it's very unfortunate because some of the colors are right, but the shape of the couches aren't there, and you can't, and then we don't always get like a matching love seat, and it's just like a whole fiasco, if you ask me, with some of the Sims stuff. And the only way to fix it most of the time is with mods, or to change your whole look of your room. And that is not what I wanted to do. So, sorry, 30 minutes and I'm preparing myself. It's like 35 minutes long. It's a long time to talk, but we're almost halfway there. So, we use the, oh my God, why'd I go blank again? High school years side table. And right here we're deciding how we wanted the layout for the dining room, and here is where I dropped it down. I really enjoyed the drop down of the dining area, and for some reason the door being placed right there wasn't letting it go down. and like actually sit on the ground, even though both rooms were at the same height. It was weird. So I had to put it behind the couch, which is perfectly fine. It works. And then I think I don't know if I keep the glass top dining table, but I could be incorrect. And I went ahead and matched the dining chairs to the bar stools because I thought it would just be a really nice touch to stick with the color theme. And then on the stairs, we used that same green color from near the kitchen and put it on the back wall of the stairs, and we kept the front walls white. And finding a rug that fit this space was fun, because I still don't like that the end chairs are hanging off, but I didn't want to get rid of them because we had 5 people in the house, and you know, your Sims can invite people over, and sometimes they sit and eat at the dining table with you, and so I just didn't want to not have enough seating, basically, which they can sit on the couch and stuff like that, but I think of things halfway realistically. And that little square you see is actually going to be like a Jack and Jill bathroom. It's going to be connected to the kids, the two children room, and I can't remember if I did it to the hallway or if I did it directly to the high schoolers. Yes, I did it directly to the high schoolers room. And then, no, I did put a bathroom in the upstairs to make a master suite. I completely forgot that I did that. There's 2 entrances onto the tiny little porch. That way you can get to it either publicly or just, you know, from the master suite. Your main parent Sims can use it. And here we're just copying and pasting the bathrooms. I figured I might as well keep it in because it was so quick. It wasn't anything too crazy. And here we are trying to decide how we're going to have, or what color schemes we're going to have for the bedrooms. I enjoy very much how all these bedrooms turned out. I thought they were all very cute. The children got desks underneath so that way they can do their homework in their bedroom. And then there's going to be a little like corner that they can sit on. We use some of the new like beanbag looking chairs and some of the pillow seats that you can use. And then we put some not dressers, but like tall armoire style dressers up against the wall in the hallway area, and you'll see how that turns out. We kind of push the door over a little bit so that way it's much cleaner and easier to walk through. And there are those pillows and that little like beanbag style chair. You can get those at Walmart. You can. They're not the most comfortable things. They're not like our old beanbags, like the older-ish generation. I say older-ish. Not very old. We're not old yet, but some of us will know what I mean. The little round bean bags that we all had as kids, and those were much cushier than like the new beanbag chairs that they have at Walmart, which is very sad. We use some of the pop-up storybook, and we actually have a bookshelf in here because I'm assuming that at least one of the children likes to read. They're very artistic and likes to read, and one of them likes to craft. Essentially like a girly style person, and then more of a I'm a crafter type of person. And then at some point, one of the desks get deleted, the girly one, and I think I forget to put back the makeup brushes, and I apologize. But I just forgot, and that's my bad. Using some of those pin boards, I wanted to put some of the ribbons on it, but I could not. They don't push out from the wall enough, and I didn't feel like messing with deleting the wall and putting the wall back and blah blah blah. So we just put them above. Sorry, I had a yawn. We put the ribbons above the little push pin cork boards, and then I think we're just about finished with this. I do have the armoires to put in. Oh, and I did put a runner. I did put a very short runner just in that little hallway. Realistically, a kid's room probably isn't going to have something like that, but I just wanted them to have it. And then we have one color for each person, for each kid, with the dressers. And putting up posters is something that I am not the greatest at. I overthink posters and placements and things like that, so sometimes I skip out on using them, other times I don't. And here we are using those ribbons, which is a swatch from one of the high school pack items, if I'm not mistaken. I just happened to find them and I was like, oh, that's really nice. And so I used them. And then I think next we're going to go into the high schoolers room, which is, I think you guys, it's my favorite, but I think you guys are going to enjoy it a lot too. So we push this bed all the way up against the wall. We're going to have an open, more like fashion designer style was what I think, place for the clothes instead of like an actual dresser in the corner. And I was trying to decide on which desk to go with, but I just went ahead and went for the regular gamer style desk. And this swatch on the bed is my favorite swatch because it matches all the pink and blue stuff, which I'm not really a pink fan, but I love the girly aesthetic placed onto, you know, skulls and crossbones. So it's very interesting to finally see stuff like that into the game, and it's very exciting to see it in the game. Now, we did use what is probably all of the Sims community's favorite hanging plant from the, is it the kit, the Blooming Rooms kit, if I'm not mistaken. And I used some of the new trellises because I just thought they were the prettiest thing to put on here. I wish you could use them as something to like climb over the porch and climb down them to sneak out, but I don't think that works. And then right here, it took me a little while to decide what table because that was such a small corner to be working with. But the Dream Home Decorator stuff had a really nice, small, like, decorative table. I'm not exactly sure the direct name for what those are called, because I know buffet tables are like thin and long, but this one's just like a little regular decoration table. We do put some new colors on the walls in a little bit. It's kind of the last thing that I do because I match it to what is in the room versus match the room to the wall. That's just kind of how my mind works. And my favorite part about this room was this wall behind the computer desk with all the vinyl records, and I think we put a painting as well. And then I used the little like llama tapestry to put, or tapestry, however you guys say it, over the bed. Because I found that and I was like, oh, I have to use it. But it comes in, and the one thing that annoys me, I put this one on the bottom, but when you have the first floor up without the second floor being shown, that bottom poster set shows. And I didn't know how to fix it because I moved it around several times off camera and it just would not change. I don't know. Here we have the old game set stuff that's clutter. We put the little high school mascot plushie. We shrunk it down. And here's what I mean by like open dresser, fashionista style. I don't know exactly what that's called, but it's there. And I was using the grid right there just to make sure that there was enough like pathway for the Sims to walk through. And here's the other colors that we were trying to decide for. I think I keep the hexagons. I thought it was really fun and neat. and it had both the colors in them. Oh my god. Every time I could not yawn for hours. And all of a sudden, as I'm going to make a voiceover, my body decides that it wants to yawn. And the system that I'm using is kind of difficult to like pause and restart. So you guys can yawn with me. Tell me down below if you happen to yawn when I did. We don't do much with the hallway, and the bathrooms kind of mimic just what's downstairs. Now, I don't know about what toilet y'all by default go towards, but I go to this one almost every time. All my builds just about have this same toilet in it. And it's the toilet with the button on the back of the thing. It's supposed to be like, in real life, it's like the water saver toilet. I don't know. It doesn't have a handle. It's a push button. And there's two different push buttons. And you can push them both at the same time for like a full flush. One's like a half flush with not as much water for like if you go just a little TT. And there's another bigger button that you push, and it's supposed to create just a little bit more water when you go number 2. So I thought that was interesting. I didn't know that. I always just used the bigger one because it was just easier to push. And then after a while, someone told me that they were actually for specific reasons why you use those buttons. And I thought it was interesting. Now, I love this little plant that I put on the right-hand side of the bed, if you're looking at it the right-hand side of the bed. But it's so thin. I like to actually double layer it with the Move Objects cheat on and rotate a second one a little bit just to give it a little bit more fullness. Because unfortunately, the Sims team made it flat. And I don't like the look of flat plants, because I think plants should be really full and pretty and just much thicker than what the Sims team gave us with that plant. And here I am deciding if we wanted a sitting area. We do have a small sitting area. And I imagine maybe the mom is a reader and the dad just kind of, or the more manly figure of the house. Whatever y'all guys want to play, but in my head it was a mom and a dad, and the mom was a reader, which is why she has that little like magazine reading nook. Maybe the dad's a writer, so they kind of sit in the room together and do that. While deciding, that whole little area kind of changes a little bit, because while I was deciding on what dresser to use, I found this gorgeous green swatch on this dresser, and it's the really deep green with like gold accents around it, and it was just, I was like, I'm sold. I want it. Everything else can be like a beigey gray and black. I want the accents of just the greens. So I went for full green and gold, and we just kind of shove everything everywhere. Hopefully your Sims can get through just fine. It's questionable with some areas, but I believe in my skills and knowledge on building as often as I do, because I build way more than I actually post on my YouTube channel. I wish I had the time to record everything and the storage on my computer to record everything that I build, because it'd be so fun. But some builds that I have on my gallery took me a lot longer than what it would have taken me for this 35-minute speed build. So, and then I also have made recently just shells, and I feel like those just aren't as interesting to watch. But if y'all decide y'all want me to record those and maybe just do like a silent video with the with shells, I can do that. We'll just put some music in the background. And I wouldn't have to talk during those. It could just be strictly you guys watching me build shells to realistic houses, which is nice. If you did not notice, I did not put in any windows yet. I think I decided on my window palette at the very beginning of the video, but then I go back and I will put in my windows after I'm finished. I really wanted to lean into decorating the area and then putting the windows instead of trying to figure out where I wanted to put the windows and then trying to work everything around the windows, because there's been many times where I run into the issue of, hey, I really like where this is placed, but there's a window. But then I'm already sold on the outside of the house where that window placement is. So I just said I'll wait and do the windows last with the mindset that I had when doing this build. That is why there is where did my brain go? Because I wasn't going to say anything. I was still talking about the windows. I just don't know what I was going to say. Now, if you notice, we did put one window underneath where the lattice is, that lattice work from the high school years pack. I thought it was just a nice aesthetic. I liked the idea of having greenery going up that area because it was supposed to be kind of like an overgrown section. And realistically, we do have those in real life. So we went ahead and leaned into that. Those top windows don't do anything. They don't go anywhere. They're just to add more windows to the outside of the build. Here I am deciding what to paint the exterior since all the interior is basically finished. I saved the exterior for last because I didn't know how I wanted the outside to look just yet. I wanted to do the inside, kind of decide on what was going on, and then I went back and did the exterior because I didn't want the exterior to like directly match, but I didn't want it to be completely different either. Now we do keep it pretty dark. We did a dark stone and a dark, the eco living. Can't remember which one it is, but, and then the cottage living, dark stone. And I did it because I wanted a stone. It seemed more realistic to have a stone as an alternative, but I didn't want the same like flagstone that was on the, what's it called? Chimney. I didn't want to use the same one. So now we're on to the landscaping portion of things. Let's just say it was very interesting. We actually did a lot of rounded edges. So we did straight edges, but in the corners we did a lot of rounds, which was something that I'm not very experienced with, but I like how it turned out with it being super overgrown and bushy. We do put some of the locale trees around the house. And then I also put the little campers kit, the little fireplace, the outdoor fireplace. I do put the fire pit out there. And we kind of make like a heavier dirt like pathway out towards it once I get to adding that. We have our insect box and a bee box. I figured if you're going to be out here in the woods kind of just chilling and doing fishing and stuff like that, that you would be outside doing some of the bee work and insect work as well. And then we kind of mismatched these chairs, and I thought it was a very interesting way to, I guess not really interesting, it's more realistic to me to have mismatched chairs, especially with children in the house. So in line mode, there's going to be little fireflies around that area. Ever since we got the option to put fireflies down, anywhere there's water or a place that you're going to be spending time outside, I love to put the fireflies. I don't know why, they're just gorgeous. Or lightning bugs, whatever you want to call them. They're originally called lightning bugs for us down here in the south where I'm from, but I know most commonly they're known as fireflies, or if you didn't know, there are bugs that light up in real life. Surprisingly, some people don't know that. There's been a lot of people that are like, there's bugs that glow in the dark. Yes. I'm sure there's other bugs out there, especially in Australia. There's a lot of weird animals. I'm sure there's a lot of animals that we don't know about, especially where I am located. But we are putting some white flowers in here, and then I am gonna go ahead and put the finishing touches. And I don't think I've done that bathroom, and I can't remember if I left it in. I think I just put that bathroom in afterwards. We're gonna put some curtains on in a second, and you can see there that like floating poster. It's not on the downstairs. It's not downstairs. It's upstairs, and it's on the upstairs wall. I don't know why it's glitching through, but and there it is, guys. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day wherever you are in the world. Bye, guys.